Hi everyone. In today's video, I'm going to answer a question that might be bothering some of you at this point of time. Should you take the Maharashtra MBA CET? And with the registrations closing very soon, you might be in a dilemma that whether am I eligible or not, or should I take it or not. So I'm going to help you understand this particular aspect of the admission process, because this part, which is the admission process bit, is a little complicated. So when you look at the admission process which is followed by JBIMS, Sydenham, Wellinger, etc. for the MMS program that they offer, they participate in what is called centralized admission process, which is called CAP. Now in this process, whether you are a Maharashtrian or you're not a Maharashtrian, you can basically participate if you have an all India test score. Now what test score you bring to the table will also determine, alongside your domicile, whether you'll be able to apply as an all India candidate or you'll be applying as, say, a Maharashtra candidate. So think of a college which has, or a B school which has 100 seats. Now in these 100 seats, 15% of the seats are reserved for what is called all India. The remaining 85% are reserved for state candidates. Within this 85%, there is further bifurcation in some of the B schools as 70% for the home university, which means that if a candidate is applying to a particular B school, which is, let's say, Mumbai University, and the candidate has also done his or her graduation from Mumbai University, such a candidate will be applying to that particular institute as a home university candidate. The remaining 15% are what is called outside home university seats. Let's say a Pune university student applying to an institute which is based out of Mumbai. So the split is very simple: 70%, 15%, 15%. 17% is home university, 15% is outside home university. Together these make 85%, that is state, and the remaining 15% is the all India seats. Anybody, whether you are a non-Maharashtra candidate or a Maharashtra candidate, you can apply to all India seats. So don't think that, let's say you're from Maharashtra, it means that you will be able to apply only for the Maharashtra seats. No, because you are also falling in the all India seat, because when you say all India, Maharashtra is part of it. So a Maharashtra student has more advantage for sure, because you have more seats that are allocated to you or assigned to you, but you also can fight for the remaining 15% seats, which a non-Maharashtrian cannot do. So non-Maharashtrians clearly have a disadvantage, that you are fighting only for 15% of the seats, but also understand that you can apply via multiple tests. So you don't have to have only one particular test score, you can have multiple test score. The best score that you bring to the table will be used for admission process. And today I'll show you an example of how it was last year, and it will help you to decide whether you should take the CET or not. And in my view, whether you are a Maharashtra candidate or a non-Maharashtra candidate, you should definitely be taking the CET, because it creates one more opportunity for you. Let's say you already taken CMAT, maybe you have the score as well with you, but now you know that you might not be able to make it via that score, then CET is definitely a good opportunity for you to consider. Now let's look at this particular document. So there are two documents, and I'm also going to give you links in the description so you can check these out. Now what you are seeing here firstly is the All India merit list from last year. Now here you can see, for example, the name of the student, their home university and all of that, and you will be able to see which particular CET that they have taken. Now when they say CET name, they are not referring to the Maharashtra MBA CET, they are saying which common entrance this particular student has taken. So Srijan Chobe has taken CMAT and has scored 100 percentile in CMAT. It's not CET percentile, it is essentially CMAT 100 percentiler. Similarly, you have Archie, who has got a Maharashtra MBA CET 100 percentile, and then there is academic information which is not relevant to us, so we'll ignore it. What we are going to focus on is the first column, which is the rank, and then we are going to focus on CET name and the CET percentile. Okay. Now what you will see is that some of these students are falling in all India candidate type, which means that they will be fighting for those 15% of the seats that I mentioned. Some of these are Maharashtra state candidate type A, which means that they are fighting for those 85% seats. But somebody who is a Maharashtra state candidate type A, if he or she has a particular test score which will give that particular student a seat under all India, then the student can also use it. For example, let's say I'm a Maharashtra state candidate and I've taken the CET. I've got a 95 percentile in the CET, but I have a CMAT 99.99 or a 100 percentile there. Can I then use that particular score? The answer is yes. Or let's say if you are an all India candidate, you have taken CET, CAT, CMAT, MAT, ATMA, all of them. You have scored, let's say, 99.99 in MAT. Can you use that for admission here? The answer is yes. So it's not only about CET. But if you have taken CET, of course, it creates more opportunity for you. And as it is evident, this particular person is all India candidate type. So this student is not from Maharashtra, has taken the Maharashtra MBA CET and has scored 100 percentile. Okay. Similarly, you will see many more all India candidate type Maharashtra MBA CET, all India candidate type MBA CET, all India candidate CMAT. So whether you're taken CMAT or CET, etc., as an all India candidate, you will be able to use that particular score. And once the admission process begins, these students who are all India candidate type will start, they will get assigned those particular seats, which I have also shown here. So if you see this, this is essentially the seat, this is actually the document which shows the name of the student and which seat they were assigned at JBIMS. So this is from JBIMS, this is from the CET cell website only, but the JBIMS document. So here, for example, you will see the same person that we saw, right? The first topper, Srijan Chaube, has been given an all India seat allotted to all India candidates. So this particular person who took the CMAT, got 100 percentile there, now has got this particular seat. Similarly, this person, Archie Bindal, who was a CET 100 percentiler, has got a seat under the all India candidate type. Now, as you go down here, you will see all the names of the students and you will be able to see the serial number of the merit rank that they have. And you will see that this particular number went to 55 last year. Okay, ideally it should have closed prior to that, but 99.98 was the last person to get in. Now 99.98 is a very tricky thing because in some years the cutoff has fallen to 99.98. In most years it has stayed at 99.99. And even then, there were people who were not able to get admitted because of the merit rank. Okay. So now what we'll see is we'll see a couple of them. So we have 24, 25, 29, 31 and 32. Right. Now let's see what all tests they have taken. So 24, we'll start from there. So if you look at 24, so we are 24, 25, right? So 24, all India candidate type, Maharashtra MBA CET, 99.99 something. Another person, all India candidate, 99.99 via CET. So these two have in fact been all India candidates. They are not Maharashtra students. And they have taken Maharashtra MBA CET and they have been able to make it. So if you actually consider each and every name, go to this document and find out how many of them entered JBIMS via the CET route, you will see that that number is significant. Now, if all of these people had decided last year not to take the CET, they would not have made it to JBIMS, correct? Then we have, so we had 24, 25, we have 29, 31 and 32. So let's look at 29, right? Again, all India candidate via CET. You have 31, right? 31 all India candidate via MAT, which means that in addition to CET, you can take some other tests as well that we have already seen. So you could have taken a XAT, a CET, a CMAT, a MAT, and an ATMA as well. So there are students who have applied via ATMA scores, correct? So you can take whatever test you want as a Maharashtra candidate, as a non-Maharashtra candidate. It doesn't matter, because if you have a very high score in that particular test, you will be able to use it for your admission, correct? Now the only problem with ATMA, however, was that there was nobody with a 99.98 plus. So if you go through this document, you will see ATMA 99.980 was the maximum percentile. So taking ATMA is of course a good idea, but it might also have some disadvantage because nobody might score a 99.99 or 100 in that particular test because of the number of takers. Whereas when you look at CET, CMAT and a MAT, they generally of course have so many takers that there are 100 percentilers and a 99.99 percentilers as well. Okay, now what is the moral of the story? These two documents, I would suggest that you go through it and just look at how many people were able to make it to JBIMS via the CET route under all India candidate type. And it clearly makes a case for a non-Maharashtra candidate to take the CET and apply to JBIMS. But it also makes a case for a Maharashtra candidate to take other tests in addition to CET and improve their chances. So what should you do from here? My advice is very simple. And whether you are a Maharashtra candidate or a non-Maharashtra candidate, number one, take the CET. Number two, take MAT and ATMA. So now these are the only tests that are remaining, and that is why I'm making that statement. If we were recording this video, say a couple of months back, I would have said, okay, take CMAT as well, take ZAT as well, take CAT as well. But now with the remaining tests, you have CET, MAT and ATMA. Take all of them. Again repeating, whether you are a Maharashtra candidate or a non-Maharashtra candidate, take these three tests and let's wait for the result. Now, depending on the scores that you get, you can decide, of course, once the cap rounds begin, which score you want to submit. Let me give you a hypothetical situation. Let's say you have scored CET 99 percentile. In MAT, you have got a 99.99, and in ATMA, you have got, let's say, a 98 percentile. What will you do? Can you make it to JBIMS? The answer is yes, via the MAT 99.99 that you have got, whether you are a Maharashtra candidate or a non-Maharashtra candidate. Okay. Or another situation, let's say you're a Maharashtra state candidate. Now you have got a CET 99.99, you have got a CMAT 100, and you have got, let's say, a MAT 99.98. What can you do? You can technically use both your CET 99.99 and CMAT 100 to get in. But I would suggest that you use CMAT 100 so that there is no chance of any risk. Of course, at a 99.99, you will definitely make it to JBIMS. So this thing can happen only if you have taken multiple tests. So the bottom line is very, very simple. Take multiple tests. CET, MAT, ATMA are yet to happen. Register for them, appear for them, see what happens. Once you have your score, I hope something will materialize because of that. So don't take any chances, don't take risk. It's better that you take the CET rather than worrying about the 15% of the seats that you have. See, most of the students have this concern that they keep thinking that they have very limited seats. But how many seats do you need? And that's an advice that I got from my mentors when I was a student. Because even as a student, I used to get into these discussions, right? That there are very limited seats. But how many seats do you need? You need only one seat. So if you can fight for it, just make sure that you do it. Rather than regretting at a later point of time that, oh, I should have applied and I should have taken the test, etc. So don't leave anything to chance. You might as well take the test. If it goes well, great. If it doesn't go well, at least you will not have a regret. Okay, so I hope that summarizes what I wanted to share. If you have any questions about your candidature, whether you should apply or not, please let me know via the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Wish all of you all the best.